Hello everybody, it's Gemma here from Made by Gemma Crafts at UK. Thank you for joining me again today. Now today's video tutorial is the second in my mini series of 5 Fab Fast cards. So I'm demonstrating how to make some fabulous cards that are really fast and easy. This is today's card. It's a thank you card and I've made it using the Label Me Pretty stamp set and the Pretty Label punch that coordinates with this. And the other little punch I've used on the front of this one is the 1 1/4 inch circle punch. Now if you're going to invest in some of the punches from Stampin' Up, this one is a fab one to get, because not only does it coordinate with this set here, it also with the Pop of Paradise, the Eastern Beauty, and that's just to name a couple that it coordinates with. So it's a great little circle punch to have, that one. So let's just pop these out of the way and I'll bring in what we're going to use for our card. Now on the front of this one I've used some of the Crumb Cake Classic Weave ribbon. Unfortunately I've run out of that, so I'm going to use some Soft Sky. It's the same classic weave, just in Soft Sky. I've got a little strip of Designer Series paper. This one comes from the Coffee Break Designer Series paper set. But another good thing about this card is it's good for using up your scraps of Designer Series paper. And also Crumb Cake and Vanilla are neutral colours, so you can mix and match your ribbon and to match your Designer Series paper. Excuse me. I've got a little piece of Very Vanilla that we're going to stamp and punch on. I've got another piece of Crumb Cake, again we're going to stamp and punch on. And then I've got my standard card base that I use, which is 8 1/4 by 5 3/4 and scored down the middle at 4 1/8 of an inch to make my card base. Now I tend to cut a few card bases out at a time and just keep them to one side so I can make a quick card when I need one. And then the standard sizing that goes on top of our card base is 3 7/8 by 5 1/2 inches. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp on our piece of Very Vanilla here, and I'm going to use this stamp here which you can use to do our little corner accents, and I'm going to stamp that in some Early Espresso. Let's mind our ribbon out of the way. Knowing me, I'll get ink on it. So this is the stamp we're going to use. I've already got it on my block ready. So what we're going to do, we're just going to ink up one side of our stamp, and we're going to be quite careful doing this because we don't want to transfer ink around our card. Another thing you can do just to help with that is I've always got a stack of post-its, sticky notes handy, so you can just pop that down on top of your card just to protect in case you get a little bit of ink on the side. And then we're just going to go around all 4 corners, moving our little sticky note around with us, and we're just going to stamp in the corners of our piece of vanilla. Again, just gently tapping on the ink pad so we don't get ink all over the place. Our 4 corners all done. So that is the stamping done on our piece of Very Vanilla. Now I'm just going to bring in my smaller pieces and I'm going to stamp this border label stamp down. Again, just tapping gently on the ink pad. If you press too hard you will end up with it in the middle of the stamp, and then it will transfer onto your paper when you're stamping. So there's that one. And then I've got the Thank You for Caring stamp from the same set, and we're just going to again nice and gently, and then we're going to stamp this down on here. So that is all our stamping done for our card. Now we can punch these out. So I'm going to use my circle punch first and just line that up and punch. There's that one. I'm going to use my, open that up, my label punch to punch out this one. And that is that done, so they are ready now, and we can just pop, I'm just going to grab a dimensional and pop that on the back of our little circle. Pop that in the middle. Oh, in the middle. There we go, so that goes on there. That's ready to go now. Now we can bring in our piece of Very Vanilla again and stick down our little piece of designer series paper. Just pop that in the middle. The other handy thing is to use your grid lines as well to make sure you've got it straight. There we go. I'm going to use some glue dots now to put on my ribbon. So I'm just going to measure out a piece here. Trim this. Let's put this piece on first. I'm just going to pick up a glue dot on the back of my piece of ribbon at either end. And then I can pop that down in the middle and just carefully fold that. Oh, I managed to flip the ribbon. There we go. Help if I got the sticky side right, wouldn't it? There we go. We can just fold that round and stick that down on the back. Oh, I've managed to put one on one side and the other on the other. There we go. Oh, all stuck now. Just turn that around. You just give it a little straighten up, and then I'm just going to use this piece here to tie a bow for the front. So there we go. I'm sure you've seen me tie a bow before. Just do that quite quickly. I will do a more in-depth tutorial on my bow tying technique. It's nothing fancy. And then I'm just going to trim my tails down. Get rid of that. So now these bits here are all ready now to put on our card base. So let's use some Tombow to stick this down. Can go on there. Then we're going to use a couple more dimensionals on the back of our little label. Oh, off we come. It's alive today. I can pop that in the middle. And then just going to pop a glue dot behind my little bow. Pop that on just there. Now if you want to get your ribbon to stay in a certain position on your card, I just pop a glue dot underneath where I want it to stay, like so. Just keeps it nice and neat and stops it from flapping about too much. So there is our second quick and simple fast card. There we go. Just bring the other one in. So nice and pretty, nice and simple, and you can make quite a few of these in one go. It won't take you too long. Now as always, I will put all the measurements and all the items that I used will all be listed on my blog, and the link for that will be in the description box. Once again, thank you for joining me again today, and I will be back tomorrow with another card. So bye for now.